Welcome. I'm Tom DiPietro with the Green Mountain Water Environment Association. Joining me today is Chelsea Mandigo from the Essex Junction Wastewater Treatment Facility. Chelsea, thank you for chatting with me.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about the Essex Junction Wastewater Treatment Facility.
So we're what's considered a conventional activated sludge facility with biological phosphorus removal. And what that really boils down to is we use aeration tanks filled with microorganisms to treat wastewater, and we use chlorine as our disinfecting agent. We are comprised of 3 communities, the village of Essex Junction, the town of Essex, and the town of Williston. And that has an average flow of 1.8 million gallons going through the facility, and we're designed to handle 3.3 million gallons. And that makes us the 6th largest facility in Vermont. We do take in septage and leachate. In 2021, we took in 1.4 million gallons of septage, which includes portable toilet waste, high strength waste, and septic tank sewage. And for leachate, we took in 242,000 gallons of leachate.
Quite a bit. So like all wastewater treatment facilities, your treatment processes generate sludge, which, if I understand correctly, your process turns into a biosolid. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so we generate Class B biosolids, and we use an anaerobic digester to do that. So an anaerobic digester is just like a giant composting facility. It's closed to the environment and it's heated to 98 degrees Fahrenheit, which accelerates decomposition. And it takes about 20 to 30 days for that sludge to turn into biosolids. And then at that point, we transfer it down to 2 of our holding tanks, which each hold 1 million gallons per day. And each person actually produces 47 pounds of biosolids annually. And that's not just a figure related to our facility, that's a national wide figure. And those biosolids are full of all the nutrients that we're trying to keep out of the waterways, which is mainly phosphorus and nitrogen.
So after these biosolids are generated, what happens to them? What does Essex Junction do with them?
So we have to find a way of disposing of them. Last year, we produced 441 tons of biosolids, and we have 2 options at this point in time. We can either dewater them with a centrifuge, which we have on facility, or since the 1980s, we've had a land application program. And that's how we recycle about half of our biosolids back into the environment. And we actually do recycle the other half through our dewatering process and when those are trucked, which I can talk about later. But we work with a farmer that's located only half a mile away from the facility, the North Williston Cattle Co., the Whitcomb family. They're the last farm in Essex Junction. And in annually, actually, they take in 1.5 million gallons of our biosolids on their 200 acres of field. We subsurface inject that into their farm fields that they use as fertilizer for their crop production.
So if your biosolids are being used as fertilizer, does that have an impact on Lake Champlain or local water quality or anything like that in the streams?
Well, there are a lot of regulations that we have to follow to even get to that point, both on our side and the farmer side, including a lot of groundwater monitoring and soil sampling and just determining soil application rates. And there's setback rules from waterways. And so we're really helping the environment because this farmer, he only uses our biosolids as fertilizer. He doesn't import any other fertilizer from outside the state. So it's really keeping what's already in the system rather than bringing more phosphorus into the ecosystem, which could then further contribute to the water quality problem, especially in Lake Champlain.
Right, if we're not importing phosphorus in, there's less of it. So how much biosolids are we talking about? And if you didn't have such a willing partner in the agricultural community, what would you do with your biosolids? How would you dispose of them, or what else could be done?
Yeah, so we produce about 440 tons of biosolids. You know, we do have that centrifuge application, which processes about half of our biosolids annually because the farm fields are just not large enough to take all of what we produce. And that actually is recycled back into the environment as well. It's trucked up to Chateaugay, New York, where they convert it to Class A biosolids and use it on local farm fields. But if we didn't have that option, in the past, we've had to truck it all the way to Canada to dispose of it. A facility used to sometimes send it to New York to burn it, incinerate it, which is awful to do when it's such a valuable resource to recycle back into the environment. And some of our loads we've actually had to send to the landfill in Newport, which is also a shame because we only have one landfill left in the state, and it's a valuable resource to keep those reusable material, the biosolids, out of it.
Yeah, we've spent so much effort and time to kind of remove organics from our landfills, so it would be a shame to put these back in.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Chelsea, thank you so much for talking with me today. I appreciate everything you and your coworkers do to keep Vermont's water quality clean.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.